Hello everybody and welcome to Curse of Mother Misery episode 15. We're playing the module Curse of Strahd, but it's been slightly changed and transformed and played in the setting and system of Frostmark the RPG. And with me I have a wonderful cast of players. I have Lady Illyra, the half-elven magus, played by Julie. Good evening.
I'm not a crazy bird lady, I swear.
Then I've had a player who sadly had to leave the campaign because of real life stuff, and real life always takes precedence over our escapism, sadly. But with us taking over Krakas spiritually, we have Kelvin, the Gnome Ranger, played by Vivu. Hello!
Hello.
Then we have Nixon, the Vistani, the Tiefling Bard, played by Adrian. Hi.
Hello, I ate some children in a pie.
This is a fact. And then, certainly not least, we have Sir Asveda, the Silver Dragonborn Paladin, played by Aeronox. Hello!
Hello.
Yes. There's a content warning, as always, with gore, gothic horror, and bad language. What happened last time? We had a glorious 2.5 hour battle with a bunch of zombies and zombie feet. Primarily. It was a horde of zombies that attacked the party as soon as they had made camp. The raven out in the forest gave away that they were going to be attacked some time before it, so the party had some time to prepare mentally and practically. There were a lot of limbs flying in every direction, but the party got a handle on the situation despite being quite overrun. But then a more intelligent undead came onto this scene with armor, a rustic bastard sword, a intelligent glint in his eyes, and a piercing gaze that could paralyze and frighten. The party in the end prevailed and fell this undead creature, even though he was certainly stronger than a normal undead creature. There was no soul to take, which Esmeralda pointed out it was very strange. Asveda also found a silver pendant around the neck of this mysterious undead stylized dragon from the front that's eerily similar to the pendant she has from the Argent Purifiers, the Knight of Order of Knights that she belongs to. And Essie noted that there is a dragon statue south of Vallaki that was once upon a time probably shimmering in silver, that stands before a mansion that is heavily haunted, and the Vistani makes a wide berth around the area. After dealing with the aftermath, taking care of all the zombie bodies, putting it all in a glorious pile, the party resumed their travel towards the Vistani Vallaki camp, going past the Vallaki gates, past some shoreline of Lake Sarovic, and then eventually came upon the Vistani camp somewhere around lunch. Let me introduce the scene to you guys again, and change the music back to our glorious Vistani music. There we go. The woods part to reveal an expansive clearing, a small grass-covered hill with low houses built into its sides. Fog obscures the details, but you can see that these buildings feature elegantly carved woodwork and have decorative lanterns hanging from them in their sculpted eaves. Atop the hill, above the fog, is a ring of barrel-topped wagons that surround a large tent with a column of smoke pouring out through the hole in the top. The tent is brightly lit from within. Even at this distance, you can smell the odors of wine and horses that emanate from this central area. So there you are, looking upon this scene. What do you guys want to do?
We should probably introduce ourselves. Just looks over to Ezzy and Nick.
Essie furrows her brow and says, this is a little bit weird. They're usually guards. Why can't we just waltz in here?
Perhaps they're attending a meeting.
Perfect timing.
To be clear, guys, I haven't really been here. This is more Ezzy's wheelhouse. I know of this place, but well, you know me. I wasn't really interested.
Well then, Esmeralda, do they regularly hold meetings where guards aren't watching?
Normally, from what I know about Luvas and Aragal is that they're very careful people. They don't trust. Well, I can't say I do that either, but we don't trust the Barovians in Vallaki any more than they trust us. And there should be some guards for the wood elves as well, you know, standing around the clearing, but I can't see any. I don't know what's going on.
We should probably go look for somebody then.
Does it still look like there's activity in the place?
Let's make a perception intelligence. First roll.
This
See if I actually have anything good in that. Oh, I have a +8.
This defines everything, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't need to put so much pressure on my shoulders, Jesus.
I mean, you already put it on luck.
Oh god.
Hey, there we go.
It's not
14
bad,
is still,
but great.
still not bad, as you say.
Yeah.
There seems to be movement up by the camp. You do see shapes of several horses, and there seems to be some humanoids walking around the camp, but like a handful.
Do they look like they're just going about their business, or do they look like some sort of more structured thing?
You don't see any like structured movement, but it's a little bit hard to tell from this direction what exactly they're up to. But it's no repetitive movements.
Just seems like they're here to do whatever they want, so I don't see why we shouldn't just stroll in, even though there's no one here.
I'm sure it's fine, Kelvin. Ezzy and I are clearly Vistani, so what's the worst that can happen?
As long as
Well, you're
we
definitely the one at the front then.
yeah, as long as we all remain respectful and drink some wine, it should
Yes,
be
as
fine.
opposed to last time, guys, try and get into the mood a little bit quicker than standing off onto the side. I think if you act the part, then maybe you will be considered.
Asphodel would like to make a little like a check. Is there any like signs that heavily cladded individuals might have stormed up this area? Like footprints that are kind of like deeper than the rest?
Oh. Let's make a survival cunning.
Okie dokie. Survival. Oh, there it is. Oh, thank God for that. Not intelligence.
Yeah, like this area seems to be quite well traversed. When it comes to wagons coming up and down the hill. Maybe not like super duper fresh, but maybe some days old. There are footprints all around, and it's quite chaotic, and it's a little bit hard to see like exactly how old things are. But what you do notice with the footprints is that the humanoid footprints don't seem to care about the road. They go in all direction and just saunter into the forest in any direction that they please.
Oh, into the forest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's
Shit.
both like traffic on the road, but there's like an equal amount of traffic just going willy-nilly into the forest itself.
Okay, I see. Okay. Okay. She'll, just take note and say, well then, I guess you should lead the way.
Azzy, let's go.
She takes a deep breath. All right.
Put on a smile, Azzy. Come on.
I mean, I'm a little bit worried about Argal and Lush for sure, but I mean, I do still have a lot of friends in here, so I'm happy to see them, and I hope they're okay, and I hope to share some wine with them and some stories. So, yeah, I'm probably just being overly negative about this. Let's go sit down and have some wine and play some dice.
Just before we head off, let Azzy go a few steps ahead. Nix is just gonna turn around and look pretty serious on his face.
Oh.
Looks to the other three and says, just like all Vistani, they all think Strat is the shit. Be careful what you say.
Of course.
Other than that, have fun. Let's go.
What a peculiar atmosphere this is.
Yeah.
Alright.
So hostile, so...
You make your way slowly, like in it's a bit of a spiral that the wagon tracks take around this mound to not be so steep and get as much traction as possible if it becomes muddy. But eventually you crest up on the hill, and there are some Vistani faces that like look up and like realize that you're there and stop what they're doing and whisper to each other, and there are some who approach as you come to this. Now, there's a bunch of floors and Kados on this map. They're not Floor and Kato, they're just Vistani, okay?
I thought so.
They're not simulacrums of Floor and Kato.
Clones everywhere.
Yeah. It's important to know. Yeah, two female Vistani, one older, one younger, comes up, and first one says, "Hail, traveler," and the other one says, "Oh, it's Esmeralda."
Nix will like rush, angle all the way forward, like nudging past it. And Nix, of course.
One of them like squint a little bit, like, wait, who is this again? And the other one goes, oh, it's that word of Madame Eva, right? The adopted son. Oh, wait, didn't you disappear?
Yes, okay. Maybe I don't have a reputation here. We don't have to talk about it.
Are you allowed to be here? I don't want to anger Madame Eva. Like,
I'm fully grown up now. I can do what I want.
But
I can drink and everything. I swear.
And the older one goes, like, putting her hands on her hips, and she goes sturdily, that might be so, but we don't wish to anger Madame Eva. So if she has said that you are not allowed to travel, you're not allowed to travel, Nix.
Well, Madame Eva knows I'm here, and rest assured, the fact that I am here will make everyone's lives better. I'm sure of it.
Like, the older one squints a little bit, like, suspicious. The younger one go, I'm actually happy to meet you. You haven't been here that much. So, welcome. I am sure that you have some tales that would be different from the normal meal.
So many tales you wouldn't believe. They will make your tail curl.
She giggles a little bit. I'm looking forward to it. But I'm sorry to say that this might not be the best of circumstances to be here. This is not the normal way to enjoy the Vallaki camp. But Arabelle missing, and the wine supply running so dry. Of course we will supply wine for this whole group of ragtag visitors that you have brought.
Tourists, shall we say?
Tourists. Ah.
Yes, I left Barovia just for a moment to bring back a couple of tourists to, class up the place a little, perhaps.
The older one goes. Tourists for the prince.
No. Tourists for
Essie-
Barovia in general.
Essie immediately puts a hand on you and kind of pushes you back. We are here to go to the castle after we have met your come to this camp. They wanted to see it, and then we will go to the castle with them. Countess invited them.
Right. What she says.
The younger one goes, "Oh, splendid! I'm sure the prince will be a bit happier with some new company. In the meantime, we will try to give you the night of your dreams, the best we can, at least for the circumstances." And Nix, when you do look a little bit closer, I mean, you don't know these people by name, or you might have vaguely seen them when you were younger, and when you were younger, you might have seen their visage, but you don't know the names or who they are. But you do know how Vistani usually look, and they are wearing less jewelry than normal, and there's heavy circles underneath their eyes. They look a tiny amount, a tiny bit lethargic, like they haven't had enough to eat. And the normal, exuberant hospitality and joy that is coming out from Vistani when they meet new people, it's there, but it's not as bright as it usually would be.
I'll take note of it. Keep it in the back of my mind for the time being. Kind of but at the same time as recognizing that it's not as lively as the Tsapu Vistani. To be slightly more cautious and actively looking around, but trying to not look like he's actively looking around, I suppose. Using his peripheral vision a bit more.
All right. Yeah. The two girls call upon this younger male here, and they discuss with each other, and they help store the cart a little bit here on the side, taking the horse, saying that they will give it water and food, so you don't have to worry about it. So let's put the wagon away. Whoa. And the horse goes with enjoys this little group over here. The guy takes care of it, and you kind of invited in as these girls kind of walk into the camp between these two wagons. And they're coming noises of people inside of the wagons that you pass.
Is there there's music playing, presumably?
Oh yeah, there's music coming from some of the wagons. There's also this guy here who is playing a lyre to himself as he just stands there and lean against this wagon. And the kind of the same expression you get from the people inside here. There are some Vistani out here that you can see that are openly in a bit of a depressed state. It's not as jovial as it used to. The horses don't seem to be as well cared for as usual. There's not as much activity as normal. And yeah, there's a bit of a depressed lid on top of this forced jovial interaction that they almost have with you.
And Nix will even though it's super depressing, he will still kind of walk to the beat and do little dances to make it look like he's having a good time.
It rouses some of the Vistani a little bit and sends some smiles your ways and
gives winks and finger guns to these people.
Sure. And as you come closer to the center of the camp, walking past the tent, you do see several casks of wine just lying strewed about, seemingly empty. And from their shouts, loud shouts from a low baritone that is coming from inside of the main tent. The younger girl says, I'm sorry, Luvash is kinda up to something. Pity kinda messed up.
Up to something? Like what?
Well, Luvash's daughter, Arabelle, has been missing for quite some time. He was outside of the mists, buying more wine and searching for you, actually. And when he came back, his daughter was... we don't know where she is. He's been scouring the woods. Arkal and some of the Dolo ones are out searching as we speak. We've been searching for night and day for almost a week now.
Nix gives this wincing face and looks over to the rest of the party.
Yeah.
I am now wondering if I should even go inside.
Okay,
My
continue.
presence here could be taken a little aggressively, perhaps. Yeah.
It's nothing that we haven't already encountered, Nix.
Are you sure you want to go first? That's what.
Yes, I think that may be the best. Just hide behind for a while until you think it's a good opportunity.
You've got this, Aswada. I believe in you, and kind of taps her back and casts guidance.
Thank you, as always.
Lyria will be just behind or next to Aswada.
So she'll go into this tent, kind of crouch down a bit. I assume the door is puny, so she just has to squat.
It's comfortable for Vistani, but it's not really comfortable for you. So you have to squat down a little bit.
Okay, she'll come in the opening, take a gander.
When you walk in, you see 3 sputtering campfires that fill the tent with smoke, and through the haze you see 6 Vistani silently drinking in various places on the dead grass, being seemingly both bored but also really drunk. There is a battered and angry tiefling teenager that leans against the tent pole, clearly intimidated by a towering tiefling above him. A middle-aged red tiefling, wide as a barrel of wine and tall as almost 3 barrels, dressed in fine Vistani robes, shouts down onto the youngster. You think asking for my forgiveness with attitude is going to work with me, boy? This is your fault. Your fault only. You do not deserve the wine that we earn or the meat that we capture, you cur!
Ah, it seems I walked into something quite intense.
Oh,
I will give you a little glorious look on this.
We have the
Look at it.
Oh, it's so cool.
we have the
He's
life.
moving.
Glorious.
But he seems best.
You'll step a full step in.
Yeah, at that point, the head whips up and the red tiefling takes like a step back and observes who's entering. And who the fuck are you?
I guess. Sorry to be interrupting. I am
You're not from around here. You must have come outside of the mists. There is no kin of the dragon left here.
Then you would be correct.
Who do you travel with?
I travel with my party behind me. And she'll gesture to like what's it? Illyria and Kelvin, but she gestures it in a way where Nyx is still blocked off.
He leans a little bit to the side, so he sees actually Essie, and he furrows his brow and says, Esmeralda, so you dare to show your face here again, huh? We're good enough for you to come back now. Luvash, it's great to see you again. Being so long away from the camp wasn't my choice this time. Okay, I'm just opening up with that statement, okay? I was in huge trouble, and she lifts her pant leg again and shows up the wood that's there, and Luvash furrows his brow and he says, How could you just survive something like that on your own? I had help, some friendly traveler, took care of me, and I was able to make my way now, and I brought these people on the way. Well, I am happy to hear that you are fine now. And that you are back.
Nice insight.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is he happy though?
Is he?
Press X to doubt.
Yeah, X. I press X to doubt. Where is my empathy? There we go.
So 14. Let me see. What stats we have for this guy?
Big boy.
Yeah, I can't really do it justice with my high-pitched feminine voice, but I'm trying.
You're doing well, don't worry.
Yeah, but with that 14, there seems to be like a mixture of emotion here. There seems to be both positive and negative emotion, but really what these emotions are, you can't really tell.
Gotcha.
And he says, so will you be staying for good, or are you just popping by to drink the wine and eat our food? with no commitment from your part. Okay, Luvash, I do sense that you are a little bit bitter, but I needed to try and find my own, okay? I was off on a little adventure on my own in the Protectorate. I'm sorry for leaving the caravan. I just needed to find my own. When I'm here, I am going to try and make up for it. You know, I will help with the horses and whatever. Of course, I will try to do my part here for the best of the Vistani. But I am my own woman. Luvash takes that in, shakes his head, and goes, You are a peculiar one, Esmeralda. Must be something strange in your ancestry, considering your cousin is whack too. Turn you back on the Vistani way. It's unnatural. But as long as you pull your weight, you're welcome to stay for a while. But know that you are not here in the full capacity of a normal Vistani. And not until you have earned our trust once more. Honestly, that's fine. I understand. So, under what business have you brought these guests to my doorstep? This is tourists who want to come and see the mysterious Barovia. They're a little bit on a tour, and after we have finished this tour, we will return to the prince, to the honored prince, and have a dinner with him. That's good. That's good. In that case, you should follow this duty to its end. Make sure that they get there safely. Is what the prince would want. Alright, there's food and wine outside. It's probably a wagon that will invite you for a warm evening if you require that. Otherwise, stay out of trouble.
Yes, of course.
Turns
Thank
his back, goes back, nods towards Asphodel. A little bit of a curious glint, like seeing your big stature. Like he's tall, like he's like a 2 meter point 1, you know, kind of dude, like tall, but he's not tall as you. So that's
No longer the big boy.
Yeah, no longer the big boy.
No one's as tall as me.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good baritone. Wish I had that.
It's the only thing I have, trust me.
And he goes back of having like this mental quarrel, like this mental breakdown of this dude here, like towering over him, threatening, intimidating, and you can see like this tiefling teenager has like his arms crossed over his chest, and is like looking away with like a sullen look on his face. And Asphodel, with your empathy, you can kind of tell that he's trying to act tough and like he doesn't care, but he's a little bit scared.
She can't help but, you know, like like kind of nod, like, yes, good, you know, like kind of like gesture in her head. As she nods, she's definitely gonna talk to that one later.
Right. So Nix, you have actually gotten a notice for now.
Yeah, can't see you.
Plan succeed. They're like okay, fair enough. Yeah.
So what you guys want to do now?
I guess that's what I'll leave the tent and see what these foods are. And kind of wait until this teenager walks out.
All right. There's like a little picnic happening between you and like the older female teacher, tiefling, and the younger one. She like brought out some food and like a blanket. You sit down. You can lean against the wagon wheel. You know.
Nix will like to hang out by the tent flap to like try and listen in on Luvash's continued duration of this younger tiefling.
Alright.
I think Galeria might actually be on the other side of the tent flap.
Popcorn in hand.
Like this. Yeah. Okay.
You know, I think once Asmodee has like some food, she'll bring some to them too.
Alright. There's some wine, there's some cheese, there's some bread, but it's not. There's actually purple mash that is being served. Not Dragon's Crush. So it tastes like cheap wine, basically. It works, but it's cheap. So it's slightly like acidic in the taste. And the bread seems a little bit stale. But it works. I mean, it's hearty food. It still works. It might not just be the freshest. Illyria Nix, you hear him continue. Basically, he berates him for not paying better attention. He should know better. His attitude is just disrespectful, and he should act more morose and take better responsibility and be out searching. He should have taken it more seriously, taking on this kind of like big responsibility of basically like the chieftain's daughter, protecting her. There was obviously somebody in the woods. Why weren't you more vigilant? And past the anger, you do hear like a tone of desperation and grief. But as you stand there for a while, you are not completely inconspicuous.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Obviously so.
Trying to be.
So like the older like woman breaks away from the little picnic and says, "What are you doing?"
Just admiring the view, taking it all in. I haven't. I enjoy just absorbing the atmosphere. And he's trying to be like a little bit softer voiced, so Luvesh doesn't hear him. The atmosphere of the Vistani encampment, just you can feel it on your skin. Do you know how that feels?
Let's roll here a subterfuge with cunning. All right. And the woman continues. Sure, but it kinda looks like me, like you're listening in onto the conversation on the other side of this tent cloth.
Well, as Vistani, we like our drama. Can you blame me?
I also like my drama, but this just looks mighty suspicious, and everyone can see you.
Oh, well, my apologies. It was not my intention. I just wanted to drink it all in. The drama, the atmosphere, What are you doing over there?
She says, yes, we were having a dinner, or a lunch, I mean. No? You were
Oh,
going
wonderful!
to be
I'm
a
hungry.
gracious guest and enjoy some wine and food with us, no?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you will kind of walk like a long way around like this.
She also walks over to Illyria and she says with a more gentle tone and she says, it's completely okay. There is no judgment yet, but I wouldn't try to be antagonistic. We are
Oh,
welcoming and friendly.
That wasn't my intent, I promise.
Good. Very happy to hear so.
My curiosity got the better of me. Do you know what the boy did?
It's known in the whole camp. That stupid, foolish boy. Arabelle wanted to go and have a bath in the lake. And he stepped away for a while, and when he came back, she was gone. Her clothes still there on the beach, her belongings. Yet she was gone. We couldn't find any drowned body, but we did find the footprints of somebody who came towards the beach. But it was such a... It took a long time to come back to us, and it rained, and so we can't tell where these footprints led. And now we've been searching for Arabelle for a little bit underneath a week. We are starting to lose hope. I say that the Vallakis took her. They always hated our kind.
Think so?
They're hateful people. No shred of kindness or hospitality in their bodies. They're cold, manipulating. They just want to hurt us.
It's sad to hear. I do hope that you'll find her.
I am sure that things will turn out okay in the end. We might not be able to ever have true justice for Arabelle's disappearance, but I'm sure that with the prince's love and protection that things will be set right.
Of course.
Let's sit down and share a cup of wine.
Sounds great.
Right. Okay. Sit down, have that purple mash. Have some of that cheese. And,
Nick's feigns drinking it. He's not gonna drink purple mash.
too good for
Not
that?
of the quality that he wants, yeah.
Yeah. Awful.
Okay. Fine.
He pretends.
Alright.
So good.
The younger one gives him a look. No, not really, but it's kind of what we have left.
You said something about having trouble with the vine, right?
The older one speaks again and says, the visit of the vine have just stopped producing vine, and now we need to travel outside of the mist to get it, but it doesn't last like before. And then the granny was scheduled to arrive by now, but she hasn't.
Granny?
Aye, that sweet, one of the better Barovians, says the younger one.
No.
Did she happen
No.
to sell pie?
Yeah, she comes by, here and there, and gives us those wonderful pies.
No, do not eat those pies.
Yeah.
It hurts to inform.
I don't think there's any more of them.
Their pie business sort of came to a little bit of a halt recently.
What, does something happen to Sweet Granny?
I would not call. Well, the only thing sweet about Granny is her pies. And even then, the source of that sweetness is quite malicious.
It's children.
Could you have put it in any other, like, more mysterious way?
Children? Are we talking about wolf
I'm
puppies?
No, I am she kind of looks to Kelvin and says, I'm trying to, what is the term? Slowly have it sink in. You don't want to put the fact of the true ingredient of these pies immediately into the pot, or else it'll cause panic.
Pies don't go into a pot.
That is besides the point. And she goes back to the other woman. No, it is not wolf puppies. Is it? I need you to sit down.
I'm already sitting on this picnic
Okay.
blanket.
Then put the drink to the side.
What could ever make me not drink wine? What is going on?
Trust me. Okay, put the drink down.
Alright, Dragon King.
Take a deep breath.
They both look at each other like, what the fuck?
Come on. Now, the pies are made of children.
The younger one says again, but children what? Children cows? Children sheep?
Humanoid children.
There's like a panic look that flashes in both of their eyes as they like give each other like a look, and then they oh, that's a good one.
Unfortunately, I'm not laughing.
No one is.
And then they like get weirded out again as nobody's laughing with them.
The
no,
bread.
No, you must be mistaken.
The bread are made of finely crushed children bones.
But
Meat is
why?
mixed.
But Granny, no, Granny would never do such a thing. She's so sweet and kind.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? You would never expect it. She's so sweet and kind. And you, needing food, one way or another, is happy to supply it. And in her maliciousness, fed you children, without you ever knowing. She does this not only to you, but to other Barovians. One customer was so addicted to her pies that in order to pay to continue their pie addiction, sold their child to Granny.
It's not that we don't trust you, honored guests, but we're not sure what to believe here.
Believe what you want, but all I can say is that Granny's pies, I don't recommend eating it. Nix here has learned his lesson.
They were the naming. Call me, I don't know, Jeff here.
Jeff, you.
Oh yeah, it's my friend. I've always known him as Jeff, yeah.
Whilst it sounds very, well, flamboyant to say that this granny is eating children. It is very hard to believe, I admit. After all, she's been here for quite a while. And to be completely honest with you, I have sampled her pastries, and I admit, not knowing what's within them, it's a nice product to have once in a while, but the large guest here, with no smile on her face, is being 100% truthful. And you're your own person. I don't think you're going to be seeing very many pies for, ever.
Hopefully.
But the production line has been thwarted, or it's come to a halt. And the fact of the matter is the components were unfortunately so. Various body parts of children.
Essie leans over and she says, I can confirm this as well. I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. The bakery she had in the windmill, in between here and the village. Were truly children in those pies. The younger woman here immediately turns green and says, "Oh, excuse me," and runs away. This one looks a bit more serious. Discuss as well, but like serious, have more of an iron stomach, and she says, "I need to go and talk to the other Vistani now."
An interesting topic of conversation to bring up straight away, Aswata.
Well, yes, I wasn't about to have an entire clan here be pie addicted.
Well, it's not like they can be anymore, right? They no more pies to have.
Well,
There still might be some in circulation.
Exactly.
Also, we dealt with the mill, but
Oh, I see. There's nothing stopping them setting up another location since we did not
still
take
out
on
there.
Granny.
Correct, and now they know about Granny.
I mean, there probably is another windmill somewhere they can go and take over.
That's what the point is. When Granny throws in, she will be promptly refused.
I'm not entirely sure that that would be the case. I mean, it is a rather fantastical story to say, hey, you know those pies you like? Yeah, well, they're babies. It doesn't really come across as too
I
serious.
don't think babies have like enough to warrant making a
Yeah,
pie
I
out.
don't think you can make a pie out of babies.
Infants,
we would
children.
need-
I mean, this is semantics, yeah.
But if you're going to discuss that, children are mostly a fact.
Of the ghost children that were there, you got the feeling like the youngest one who wanted to just play games were maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and was the oldest one who wanted to go on an adventure was like 10 or 11 maybe.
Oh yeah, which one of us took the doll?
The doll?
Oh yeah, there was a doll right.
Oh,
in the
yeah,
attic of the
yeah.
windmill.
From Mother Mary's kid was holding. I believe Aswida took that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mother Mary was carrying one doll, but it was like a collection of dolls that was in Gertrude's room.
Yeah, we took one
Oh,
just
no, but, like,
so
we
she could
found-
see.
We found one like doll in one of the cages of the wind.
Yes. And it had the tag that says, "It's no fun,
Yes.
it's no Blinsky."
Exactly.
And I'm not sure if anybody picked that one up.
Oh no, Aswada opened the box, right? So she took it.
Yeah, I mean, put it in the inventory of things. I will allow you to pick it up. I know you talked about it, so don't worry.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry about it. A loud voice comes from the tent who goes, what? And then storming outside.
Oh, fuck.
And in the rush,
Can we help him?
Luvash will see Nyx even though he scrambles to try and get away. Or maybe he stands there frozen.
That's what I'm just gonna like sip on this purple mash.
Ellen's hungry. He's gonna keep on eating.
Luvash calls out first. Nyx, is that... You are safe, you're here! You're here! You're here?
Nix pokes his head out like a scared cat from like behind the wheel of this cart or something. Gives like this shit-eating grin, like not like a an apologetic, but like half cringe, half smile, like please don't kill me smile.
Aspera just takes another sip of this purple mash.
This food tastes pretty damn good.
It's bread, Kelvin.
There's another like angry look, like if his face could get even like more red, it becomes even more red. How could you be here?
It's a long story, Luvash.
You have been back and you haven't... Where the fuck were you? I have been searching for your purple ass for weeks! And he like storms like towards you.
He like tries to scramble underneath the cart even more.
Runs around, kind of captures your leg as you like underneath the cart. Like captures your leg and like pulls it out, like roughly, and like turns you around onto your back and kind of like leans over you as you're like down on the ground. You don't know how much I worried for you!
Luvash, you shouldn't have.
Of course! Madame Eva! What in the Night Mother's mind could you ever... What were you doing?
A little of this, a little of that. I'm back. Madam even knows I'm back. I've just come back. It's not been long, I swear.
Believe me, that doesn't save you much at this time, boy.
Well...
What do you have to say for yourself? Do you know how much trouble you have caused all of us? You know how much resources, how much wine we have sacrificed coin? It kind of leans over you now and like have taken you by the scruff of your neck and kind of leaning up, and his like face is in your face and there's like saliva coming out.
Nick's like kind of like looking at him and not knowing what else to do, he hugs him.
Let's make a pure presence check here.
Heck yeah!
This Calvin's like leaning over like the side of the thing to look at what's happening. He's like, oh fuck.
Oh no. He stiffens up and like pushes you to the ground. What the fuck do you think you're doing? Do you think this is just gonna go away?
No, it just kind of felt like you needed a hug.
I don't need a hug! I needed to take back what you have just done!
As for that
Like
will
shakes you.
Shake him like a maraca, you just hear it
Yeah.
going about inside of him, like his organs just go glue.
He is so angry that he's like livid to the point where he has trouble functioning.
Right. Like, excuse me, I know this is very emotional for you, and I know it's an important matter, but you were about to say something else before you spotted Nyx.
Emotional, lady! Emotional? I have lost my daughter. I've been searching for this dude. While my daughter goes missing, I don't have wine. I'm starved for pies that are apparently made of children. And you want me to calm down.
Asla is gonna go to the wagon for that one bottle of Dragon Crush.
Purple Crush.
Well, I'm sure we could help at least with some of those matters if you calm yourself just a little. I understand you're angry.
You listen to her, Lufa. She is very good. She can fight things.
He shakes you one more time for like good measure and then like points a finger like almost up into your eye, you know? Like really sternly. And he says, we're not done with this. You hear me, Nyx? You have a lot to answer for. A lot of things to atone for. You hear me? We are not done. And if I see you running or avoiding me one more time, your punishment will be triple. You hear me, boy?
Well,
You hear me?
Yes, Lufa, yes, of course. I'll be here.
As this is going, Asla is gonna take that bottle of Dragon Crush and pour a cup for this man.
He kind of he
Stressful times called for good wine.
he's been kind of lifting, you know, Nyx up the ground a little bit with the scruff of his neck, so he just lets go and Nyx just fall back on his back completely. Lewis takes a step back, slicks back his hair, sighs, and looks over to us with a, oh yes, that's very kind, thank you.
Yes,
Takes a
go
sip.
on.
And he gets a grimace on his face of like, oh, doesn't taste good, but still like downs half of it. And he says, alright, what is this about pies? You telling me that the grandmother that we have been known as Granny, you've been selling me as this drug pies are not just any non-descripted meat, it's specifically humanoid children.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is outrageous. How can
Yes.
this be true?
She's operating out of the old mill, isn't she?
We were
Maybe-
just there.
I'm sorry for the outburst. Maybe we should return to more civilized. Let us just go back to. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, okay. Going past. Thank you.
Nyx pokes his head up around the side of watching Lufa go by.
He's poignantly ignoring you now.
And as Luvash goes away and Nyx feels like the threat leaving, he stands upright and kind of brushes off his collar a little bit and goes, oh, that went better than expected.
I'm surprised you didn't get hit.
Illyria did try to help Nyx out, but at the same time, she's somewhat amused at his this.
God.
That was better than any show I've seen recently.
Baby, come on. You can't be. How often do I get into trouble?
How often do you get shooken like a maraca?
Yes. Well, certainly not vertically like that.
Oh god!
Wow, okay.
Alright. You return to like the picnic. Lua still stands, his hands folded above his chest, with a furrowed brow, a thoughtful look on his eyes, is seeming a little bit concerned. And says, "But how can this be true? It's evil beyond the point that seems unimaginable. How can it be children inside of these pies? And how can it be that we haven't noticed?"
Well, when you finally mix anything with some flavorings, you can mask it however you wish. And, well, Granny is a hag. I can only assume a little sprinkling of magic can do the trick.
A hag.
A
There
hag?
are some hags around here in Barovia, but they usually do not bother us. What kind of evidence do you have for this? And also for the pies?
Well,
You know, these pies are very important for the camp.
the
Well-
mill is destroyed, so you have mostly our word to go on. We did find some evidence that children were kept there, but well,
But see for yourself, Luvash. Illyria here, even though she's not from Barovia, certainly has an eye for investigation.
Essie speaks up as well. If it makes you feel better, I saw it as well. They had like children in cages, a bunch of like children clothes, flour made out of bones, hair taken from the children, and like toys and children feet.
Yes, many of their shoes.
Yeah, shoes. I'm sorry, you know, sometimes I prefer to speak Inferno.
and
Right. So, you may be honored guests, but you are still outsiders here. And I have yet to know that you are capable or competent in that way. And I have two disgraced Vistanis sputtering the same thing. You're not really the strongest case, considering that you burned down the evidence.
I mean, I cannot make you. I cannot make you stop eating those pies. It's up to you if you want to take the chance. And if an addiction occurs, well, you can't say that I didn't warn you.
Personally, I'm not the biggest drinker or partaker in drugs in the whole camp. Workout is a drug enough for me. And, you know, he is small. He is small. But he says,
Luvash. Okay, good.
this addiction has become a problem. The bicep stronger than what we thought. As you can see, we are in dire straits since we haven't gotten the pies in time. But even if there is a chance that this pie is made out of children, we are definitely going to investigate it before we consume more. When Granny arrives, we will ask her. Let her defend herself.
Yes, and if she comes by here requesting a cause and you're unable to fulfill that cause and she starts asking for your little ones, well, you know a bit more than she believes.
Nix will like elbow her in the waist, I suppose. Say, he does have a missing child.
Oh, excellent. It only proves the point further.
Oh god.
Oh, wait.
You have no
Wait.
reason to believe us, but while we're here, we are guests. If there's
No.
anything.
Hold on. Mother Mary had a missing child. Now we're after our little escapade with that windmill. You now have a missing daughter that went into the forest.
Oh, I apologize for. How old is your daughter?
And she's seen 15 winters.
I don't think. No, I don't believe. Maybe. Can Ass sort of think back of the shoe sizes she has seen? Are there any teenager-sized shoes in there?
You didn't really take a look at the shoes in that way, though. You didn't
That's
spend
fair,
that much
that's fair.
attention to
Off
it.
the
You focus more on the
shelves.
wigs.
But we did
and
look
the...
at the clothes because we were looking at the clothes for the.
True.
There were some nasty, smelly clothes. Yes.
And I think didn't Nyx get a critical roll on
yeah,
the clothes?
Yeah.
a pretty significant role. Yeah.
It was definitely preteen.
Preteen. Okay, not 15.
And the rest of the clothes that were adult were adult.
Okay. Then she'll just say like out loud, okay, 15. That's more than likely too old for Granny.
That's a very disturbing thought. Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Dragonkin.
Of course.
Alright. We will definitely investigate this. If we're able to make that kind of connection, I'm very worried. We will shall send out some scouts towards the windmill and see if we can catch Granny on the road. Maybe she has had to return to her bakery.
When were you expecting Granny to come here?
We expected her yesterday.
Right.
She usually travels through Vallaki and then comes through us and then over to Kresk.
Right.
And since we're not allowed into the Vallaki, then we're just waiting for her to come to us. Okay, then we might have two culprits here. Either it was one of those Barovians who took her, or there might be something sinister going on here with Granny.
Why do you suspect the Barovians? And again, they aren't necessarily kind towards you.
No, you haven't noticed? They're so welcoming and graceful and treats us equally.
Nyx kind of like gives a short laugh at the
I
irony.
have,
sarcasm.
well, I wasn't there in Barovia, but the village.
They stereotype us. They're racist. And they have no ability to see she's grey, or that just because one Vistani's actions doesn't, color anybody else. Why aren't we allowed into Vallaki, the town of Vallaki, until we do something that warrants that we are not allowed inside? Why can't we make trade? They impose heavy tariffs on us, and we need them, and they need us. We supply resources to them, they supply wares to us, because we don't have the industrial capabilities as the town does. And we are the one who hurts because of the tolls, the taxes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, well, they don't really have souls anyway. So can you really call them humanoid? I don't know.
It's not exactly nice to say that to him either, but I see a reasoning behind doing it, eh?
Well,
So,
all I can say is that I think they deserve the punishment they get from the prince.
what sort of punishment?
I wouldn't presume to know the in and outs of the prince's mind. But all I can say is that they don't enjoy the same kind of protection as Vistani do. It must mean something, don't you think? Anyway, I have a bunch of addicts coming off of a high. I have no wine. I have a missing daughter. And I have a bunch of Vistani that I need to send letters to, that I need to call back from searching from Nyx. Enjoy your food.
Thank you.
So... I do not think he likes me very much.
Well,
I don't know what you're talking
he
about.
was out searching for you while his daughter went missing.
I think he cares a lot about you, given his reaction.
Yeah, well, I suppose caring is different from liking, but it's not like I don't feel bad. It was not my intention to have the entire Vistani look for me. That was far from it. So much like I am trying to make up for my shortcomings with everything I've done with leaving Barovia so far, this is, I feel, another notch on the bedpost. Since we know what Granny is up to, and we would have evidence to look for specific things, at least we might be able to offer fresh eyes to look for his daughter. If he was looking for me, the least we can do is look for her.
I thought the same.
I was about to suggest that. I mean,
Wonderful.
investigating missing children seems to be sort of a theme with us.
Each
Us should
little
become
boy.
children detectives, eh?
True. But I don't know if he has like really meant that I'm not allowed to leave the camp. I would like to obviously look for his daughter, but I think you're going to have to convince him of me leaving the camp.
I think we can do that.
And Nyx will go over to
suggest it, but-
Nyx goes over to Illyria and puts both hands on her shoulders and say, "What will I do without you?" And cast guidance.
But perhaps not immediately ask him. I think
We just had a conversation.
it's true. Well, I'll simply wait here. I am waiting for that, what's it, teenager to exit. Quite fascinated.
Alright.
I have to admit, I do feel somewhat sorry for him.
Same, but he had a job and he didn't do it.
Maybe inquire.
Neither
With
did I
him?
when I was that age.
Some of us are different.
Alright, so what's the plan?
I think Asphoda is waiting for this teenager to leave, and Illyria is probably going to, when that happens, try to actually have a talk with, what's his name again?
Luvash.
Luvish, yeah.
Yes. Alright, you finish your lunch, looking through the tent. Luvash seems to be finished with Pity, but he's still sit there sullenly, also often talk to somebody else. Then he turns Luvash turns around and says to Pity, "By the way, you could have left long ago." And Pity stands up, and you can hear him for the first time saying, "Oh, I wanted to stay, but now I want to go." And rushes out and immediately tries to walk past you guys, not looking, his head down on the ground, just trying to go past Illyria.
Illyria just sort of hello.
Gives you a look. Looks down again, doesn't answer, continues on his way.
Would you maybe stay here for a second?
I have things to do.
Asphoda is just gonna watch him.
Well, I'm sure you have many important things to do, but we would like to talk
Many?
to
What
you.
is it for you, lady? You want to ask me questions too? And berate me? And scream into my face?
I want to do neither.
But too bad. Goodbye.
I was hoping we could have a chat with you.
Well, I don't want to have a chat with you.
Look, I know you were just screamed at.
Asphoda is going to just slowly walk up to this situation.
Just sort of
you
you
know.
just looked like you wanted to talk to him. And Lyria's just
Hurry up, I can't talk to him.
Asphoda had a plan. She wasn't expecting Illyria to take action, but she just says, "Let him be, Illyria. He's been through enough."
Sure. I didn't mean to. I'm sure whatever you did, this wasn't.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Nix is gonna pass Asphoda and Illyria and go, "You call that an introduction? This is a Vistani camp." God! And he'll rush after the guy and grab him by the shoulders, turn him around, and just "You've been through a lot, little buddy. Bring it in," and gives him a hug.
His eyes widen and then violently tries to push you away. Going,
Let it go. It's okay.
Jerk, what the fuck are you doing? Stop touching me!
It's fine.
You're
It's
being
fine.
very creepy, Nyx. Just, Asphoda is just gonna pick up Nyx in one hand and just kind of hew his fingers off this kid.
To the camp.
Look, this is just weird now. Just kid.
Look, I don't know what it's like with your culture, but here we hug. Vistani are huggers. Why not you hug him? Look, he's upset.
Is it wrong that he's not a hugger? Look at him.
He's a hugger. He always Vistani are huggers. Come on. And he tries to hug him again.
He pushes you away and says, "I don't know what the culture is in their pool, but I don't think touching small kids is one of them."
Yeah, but are you a really small kid?
Oh
You look like a strapping boy who can actually do something. Man.
Nyx, now you're being
I don't
creepy.
know why, but now that just sounds creepy.
You are embarrassing yourself. And me by proxy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm being very sincere. Look at him. He seems very capable.
No, run, kid. Run. I'll hold him back.
Asuda, I'm just trying to help. Clearly, he just needs a hug.
Nix, that is a teenager. They are an entirely different breed.
And I would have you know that a teenager in my culture is an adult. I mean, it's not like your culture where people don't touch or even get any human or humanoid contact.
I'm saying this because this is the same attitude my little brother Callus had. I know how to deal with this type.
What? Passive aggressive?
No. Just
Throwing a
being-
tantrum?
No. Simply being a teenager.
Okay, well, if you want to deal with the teenage angst, be my guest. I was just trying
muted.
to help.
Fuck, I was muted. Petey takes a step back and he says, "Alright, no fucking clue? I'm standing right here! You're all fucking strange!" And then he runs away.
You've clearly explained that you're a child. Go be a child.
Oh Lord. Asura is just gonna like shake her head and just kind of walk, but keeps a great distance. But she's not gonna. Yeah, she keeps her distance just to keep an eye out for the kid.
Alright, he runs down basically the back of the camp and sits down, on the hill here.
She'll just rest up on this wagon and relax, but again keep an eye out for him.
All right. All right. You looking out for him. In the meantime, Illyria, you have official bish, no?
Yeah, so after that encounter, Lyria just sort of like scooted towards the tent, like...
Yeah.
Like, she knows how teenagers are because she was a teenager.
Yeah, she was a
Like
prime
Nick's missed
example.
that part.
Yeah,
Of a
like she
teenager.
was exactly like him, so she was like, okay, maybe if I just... And then Nick just ran up to him and gave him a hug.
Alright, so you're a little bit like woozy from the mental gymnastics that just went on. But you collect yourself, and what do you do?
It's me, Lewis,
He looks over to you, nods, finishes conversation, basically setting up a scouting party going towards Grady. He has to be very specific and have to repeat certain stuff to this pair because they're drunk.
yeah.
So it's talking to a wall sometimes, but he seems to get it through, and then he steps back, sighs to himself, and steps over to you. What can I help you with, guest?
Well, I know we are guests, and we're introduced as tourists. I guess we are.
Are you something
What?
else?
No, we are.
Alright, that's awkward, but continue.
Barovia is just very different from our home. But we were discussing about maybe lending you our aid in looking for your daughter or any issues that you might have.
I sincerely thank you for that sentiment. It's very kind of you, Miss. I'm not sure what you're able to do, but you're free to have a look around, as long as you do not endanger yourself or anybody else. You still have that meeting with the prince now.
Yes.
It's important to hold those dates.
Of
Be
course.
punctual. Good. Well, there's a few bathing spots along the shore of Lake Sarovich. Arabelle used to like the one with the large oak. It's also there where we find her clothes and those footprints.
We will try our best to.
Essie will know the location. Otherwise you can ask anybody here who is not on official business or not too drunk.
They just sort of like looks around, like.
Well, not in here, but outside. There probably some gambling going on in some of these wagons. But do not go alone out into the woods without a Vistani with you. There are ferocious animals in the woods that we Vistani know how to avoid.
Wouldn't both Nyx and Esmeralda be?
As long as there's any kind of Vistani, you will be safe in the woods. Otherwise, you will suffer the same fate as the Barovians. The full force of the curse will be upon you.
Well, we do have our 2 guides with us, but thank you for the warning.
Anytime. If the prince wants to meet you, then I will make sure that you are safe. Was it anything else?
No, I just wanted to let you know back and tell my
Have your face a little bit closer to the microphone.
Oh, no, that is all. We just wanted to tell you or make that offer. I will head back to my companions now. We will probably be around for a little while.
Polite of you. Very polite. Maybe Nick should learn one thing or two from you.
I'm not too sure about that.
He smiles a little bit for the first time. And then goes back to his serious serious face and returns trying to shout at these drunk people. Alright. Outside, Asfada, you have seen Pity going from very like angry demeanor to slightly like sullen and like hanging his head, leaning it on like his arm that he has propped up on his knees. He's looking very small and vulnerable. And he glances over to you, realizes that you're there, immediately sits up and says, "Hey, what's Gibbs?
Nothing.
Why are you staring at me?"
Staring. I'm simply watching out for you.
I don't need your help.
Then you don't need my help.
Then why are you still standing there like a weirdo? Go away.
She kind of looks around and shrugs. Well, you're free to do what you do, and I'm free to do what I do. And I choose to sit here and simply look out for you.
Do whatever you want. You weirdo. Turns back. Continues being sullen.
She, a little chuckle to herself, where she like kind of rummages through her bag and procures a dragonborn day ration,
Oh no, so much meat.
which is far more far more nutritious than what they have currently.
Right. Nice. Gotta keep those muscles up.
Yeah. So she takes one for herself and another for this kid. She kind of like waits a bit longer before checking out all right, do I have everything to drink? Yes, okay. And slow and just quietly makes her approach towards him with this ration in hand.
Since some time has gone, he's like been lost in thought, so he doesn't notice your initial approach. Then, like when you're a few steps away, he kind of like straightens back immediately, looks around, and gives you like a piercing glare. I told you to go away.
But you did say that I could do whatever I want, did you not?
He looks like super frustrated. Except for that! You can do whatever you want as long as it doesn't have anything to do with me, okay?
Then, are you saying that you don't want this meat-packed ration that I wanted to give to you? And it's like this huge ration fit for her, and it's like way too much for one kid.
Yeah, but he actually stares hungrily at it. And then shame crosses over his face, and he turns his head away like resolutely. No, I don't want your charity. I can handle myself.
Is that what that look was? This isn't charity, if it's a demand. Please, take it.
A demand? What would you do if I don't eat it?
Do you want to starve?
I'd rather starve than take charity from you.
Very well. She puts the ration like right at her feet. And says, well, I'm sure the ravens will be well fed. If you don't take it. But I'm around, should you ever want more. And she is just gonna casually walk back.
Alright.
And out of sight.
In the corner of your eye, and in the corner of your hearing, I guess, you can hear him like take the meat into his lap and mutter to himself, "Would be a shame if the ravens had this." All right. And then you go back to the others, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. And before you come back to the others and can talk about it, we shall have a small break, since we're more than halfway there.
Radio?
I need to get out of the accent. Fuck. It just flows after a while.
Yeah, get into it.
Alright, snacky time.
Yeah, refill your
Be right
glasses. Empty your bladder. How are you, chat? I hope you're having a great time. Mr. Cool Milka is so happy to see you. I hope you are fine. Goblin Pudding, if you're still here, that's an amazing name. Thank you once more for the follow.
Oh, that's my friend. Oh.
Oh, it's somebody from your...
Yeah.
Oh!
Somebody who I know, they're amazing. Yeah. They made my profile pic.
And Dr. Chifonus popped in earlier and said hi. Hi, Bexxy. I know you're not here anymore, but like in spirit, I greet you back. And Silent is still here, as always, making me so happy.
Our permanent lurker.
Could say something, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be mad at me or not.
Only one way to find out.
I'm gonna mute myself, but I'm still here. I saw some cake.
Illyria, entertain.
Huh?
Yeah, it's your stream right now. I'm meeting.
I was about to grab a fork. So
Then
You
we
can
will.
entertain somebody while grabbing a fork. What? No.
I have to leave to grab a fork so I can eat my cake.
Do you not always just like have a fork nearby you at all times?
Oh,
Why not? You don't know when you're gonna have to eat cake.
okay. You said I should entertain, right? So in my Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign on Sundays, so there are those like little sort of like ice-like nature spirits in Rime of the Frost Maiden, and the quests where you find them starts with like some like woman or like some villager that's complaining about those spirits, and since I always like kind of like have to translate stuff on the fly because I will have prepped one side of the map in the campaign and then the party decides to go the other way, I had to translate everything on the fly
Pain.
because we play in German.
Pain.
And then well, there was this woman who was basically complaining about about like those like little ghosts having stolen like her like her fork or whatever, and the whole party's like, does this woman only have one fork? So now nobody's gonna let the fact go that some people in the party are like, you only need one fork, and the other people are like, what the fuck, you need more than one fork.
Splitting a nation.
But yeah, because I was translating on the fly, I just needed this like woman to like curse about something, and it was like I was like just doing that on the fly, and the party just immediately questions like, wait, like she only had one fork? And I was like,
Wow.
that's not the point I wanted to get across, but
The crimes against humanity coming on. Only one fork?
let's say like
Ghastly.
this has been going on for a while. Like she's completely out of forks. But
Not a fork
Does she use a spoon
I
when she's
fucked
trying to
up.
eat something with a fork?
In my Rime of the Frost Maiden campaign, so I'm just very biased about like goblins, where I always end up making them too likable.
Who doesn't like goblins?
So my players will usually try to start a revolution. Right, Weeboo?
Yeah, about that.
Or they
Goblin
will try
Revolution.
to
I've
adopt
never heard of one of
one,
those workers'
although-
revolutions, you know?
And
Yeah,
my
nice.
Rime of the Frostmaiden game was no different. So now there's like 3 goblins that can't go back home because the boss is gonna eat them if they do.
Wow.
So they decided to like stack on top of each other, wear a trench coat, and pretend to be a perfectly normal human in like one of the bigger cities of the 10 towns.
But they're green.
They got a little bit of much poison.
I don't
They're
know.
just
I think
always so sick, you know?
It just should be a thing that nobody like bats an eye on this like really weird guy and is like, oh yeah, he's human.
Their faces change like at least 3 times a day, but yeah, they're human.
So in my Rime of the Frost main game, there's now three goblins in a trench coat.
Okay.
Ah,
In
I want to
my
try that at some point,
Theros
actually.
campaign, we have Dobby the Kobold. Because somebody decided to give a kobold a sock and tell them that he's free. Right, Weewoo?
Yeah, someone. I don't know who, but someone. Did I actually do that, or was it somebody else? I can't remember
I
anymore.
don't remember, but one of you guys did it.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't me.
Okay, let's back into it.
So,
Asvida, you return
Yes.
to the rest of the party.
Yes.
What do you want to do? What you guys up to?
Illyria will tell them that I offered our help and he will gladly accept, and he said that you might know the place. Apparently there are a few bathing spots, and she looks over to Esmeralda and is like, few like bathing spots around Lake Zarovich, and apparently her favorite was one with
An oak?
yeah, I think.
Right, it's one of the more smaller, a little bit more secluded bathing spots that are put aside for women. Sometimes I've used it. I can show you the way. I know the way.
I didn't really like get much more information. We should take Vistani with us.
Well, Ezzy
Thank
and
God
I
we
are both
have
Vistani.
2 of those.
Well,
It might be useful if we can talk to
I mean, I said that you were here for the count, right? That way that you would be protected. Since the Vistani here know that, you're supposed to go and meet him. Yeah. They want to anger him. And normally having a Vistani around should have that effect. But
normally.
we have been around with you before on the road, and we have been attacked twice.
Well, I'm not sure taking another Vistani along would do the trick.
I don't think so either. I don't think it necessarily had to do with anything like specifically me or specifically Nyx. I think it has something more to do with you. And Asvita and
I
Kelvin
think
not
Might
agreeing to
be
the orders.
about people not doing their missions while I was allowed to roam Barovia. They were supposed to do something else.
I think it's that. So I wouldn't, mouse around in the forest having a guard down.
I mean, I don't think we can ever afford to let our guard down here, if I'm being completely honest.
Touché.
Well, at least we
Right.
have a good start.
Okay, let's head in that direction. Follow me. and you guys leave the camp. And walking towards Lakeside, which Essie doesn't care about the road. She just take like the closest route. There are some small forest paths towards the Lakeside Ridge that the Vistani are using anyway, and she quickly and confidently like finds the right one, and you go down in the landscape towards the lake.
It's that beach episode.
Please
He finally
tell
got
me-
it.
Please tell me Strahd is just like chilling there in like a sort of like lounge chair, and like has Rod and like holding a
Your fanfiction will
parasol.
stay with you, Julie.
What?
Your fanfiction will stay with you.
I just think it's a really
You and your
funny image.
fanfics.
Mm-hmm.
And as you leave the camp, you and walk down the hill and past those houses that are set into the hill. You walk past 3 tall, slender elves with black hair, pale features, sinewy bodies dressed in leather armor, decorated, like it makes it obvious there are elves just from this like crazy amount of decorations and artisan quality to everything that they have, and they give you pretty blank looks as you just walk by.
Illyria will greet them in Elvish.
One of them raises an eyebrow and nods back, and then turns back to his brothers and continue a very soft-spoken conversation in Elvish.
Should we be worried about that?
Perhaps.
Well, these will be the elves that have always been kept down, treated like that. Like I was mentioning with Lilia yesterday, or earlier today.
We talked about it yesterday.
Oh,
Says
yes.
Essie. These are the wood elves that this Vallaki camp are charged with keeping an eye on. As I said, you see now what I mean? How boring they are? There's nothing there.
I think
They're boring as fuck.
Hello, life.
I kind of want to know more about this. I mean, you aren't wrong. There has to be a reason you're supposed to keep an eye on them.
Well, I'm apparently not a true Vistana anymore, and you guys are guests, so I guess we are all exempted from the rules of not being able to talk to them, so if you want to, you can try.
Maybe we're going to come back here though. The elves have been here for a very long time, and
Oh,
it
they will
feels just like an
certainly
order
stay.
an order of priority here, Lilia. I take your compassion for them being half elven. But this is the way it has always been. For
I mean, yeah. Well, I would like to try to have a chat sometime, but we should head to Pod.
very noble of you. Let's go.
All right. Trudge through the forest with Essie, keeping your guards up, but you don't need to because you arrive safely back to the shore of Lake Sarovich, and you appear on a small, rocky and brown with leaves, beach with like a large oaken tree beside it. There are some areas here on the beach that are a little bit unnatural in the sense that around specific spots on the beach there's small stones that have created like a square, and then there's like a mini tent of cloth surrounding this square of stones of maybe like 5 spots on the beach. As he walks forward, drops down and like looks at it quizzically, and then like raises the cloth and looks in and says, "Oh, they have protected the footprints. In like some kind of mini tents. Kinda cute."
That's interesting. I'm not sure cute is the word I would use. Smart, maybe?
I wonder if it's possible to even ascertain via the footprints what happened, where she could have
Well, if
gone,
that is the
any
only
signs of Granny.
footprints that they found.
Well, I do some of tracking. I can take a little bit of an extra look on this, but maybe.
Well, Kelvin is also, this is his thing, he's all about that. And slaps him on the back and gives him guidance. You've got this, I
will
believe.
just
You don't need
Well,
to say it like that,
around
but yeah.
and I will just have a look around and keep an eye out. I don't think I'm any use in this situation.
Alright, here, just walks around a bit.
Asphodel will help Kelvin
Mm-hmm.
because she's also proficient in that good old survival.
Alright,
Ah,
don't need
Survival
me
are
then.
pretty good at.
Oh god damn. So you roll with advantage here. Let's use intelligence. Survival. And you also roll with a plus 1d4 because of guidance.
Do I roll the 1d4 and then roll the 20, or like, because it's 2 of them, or just?
You can just plus it together.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
just-
Yeah,
2d20
but
plus
would it roll the
1d4.
d4 like each time? Because that's what I'm saying. Like.
Oh
yeah.
no, just do it after the advantage. Do
Yeah.
the 1d4 last.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
separately.
And then I'll roll it again.
That was definitely needed.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And let's add 1d4. Ooh,
There
we go.
19. Slowly but surely
Yep.
getting better, huh?
Look at
Slowly.
Alright. Yeah, definitely better than Essie. Yeah, you take a look at it. The shoe itself seems to have, like, the details of the shoe seems to have muddled away in the rain that they talked about. So it's more just an indent rather than that much detail that we're able to rescue, at least the fact that it was somebody here, rather than like any details of any shoe because of the rain. But the size and the weight of the footprint gives you an indication that this is probably somebody larger than Granny.
I don't only think it's Granny, because I don't think Granny steps down this large.
How large are we talking?
I hate to say that, but it looked like Granny's targets were on the younger side.
That too doesn't exactly make it any better, but it's probably not a. Well, it's pretty bigger than. It is bigger than normal, right?
Yeah, like a large man or a woman, like a bit on the bigger side, yeah.
More like towards, no offense in using you as a thing, as for this sign. size?
Yeah, Asphoda's gonna like have her feet right next to this footprint.
Big old
Right.
balls.
Yeah, it's not as large as yours.
Maybe not that large.
But it's definitely like on the larger humanoid side.
How often is this beach visited?
You tell us.
Like, is it used often, or is it like a special thing you guys use?
Vistani usually like to bathe together. We're quite extroverted people, and we don't like walking off on our own. But if you wanted to be alone or have some more like isolation, this was like the least popular spot because the beach isn't as good.
Hmm.
So
So is
maybe
it like,
once per week or maybe.
so is it like anyone that are surrounding, not just Vistani, visit here?
Well, we are close to Vallaki, so who knows?
Hmm.
But they usually use the bathing spots around Lake Sarovich, just north of Vallaki. You know, the closest. This is a bit away.
Well, you know how Luvash was saying that they don't really like the Vistani in Vallaki, which we know already. Someone would know where the Vistani bathe, or if they really wanted to do someone harm.
So it's either someone with malicious intent or somebody who lives kind of close by.
Sure.
Maybe.
Or someone
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Everyone in there seems to hate you.
How accurate is this picture to like what's happening, like that we see? Is it just like for our reference, or is it?
It's mostly for your reference. There's no boats here, right? And there's no one out on the lake right now. And mountain
Or
is
is there?
no. The mountain is more to your right rather than right in front of you. So let me go back to the map. Give you a feeling. So this viewpoint is like meant to be like here, right? Looking towards the mountain in the distance that is like over there. We're right now like on the shore over here.
Okay. I wonder if, well, if we wanted to find out if anyone frequents here other than, oh, what was her name?
Arabelle.
Arabella?
Arabelle.
Hmm.
We can try asking in the camp, but I feel like if there was something there, wouldn't they have already gone down that route of evidence?
Maybe, but we know one thing, that it was a human, quite large, who would have been here too. Whether or not that person is still around, are there any other further footprints that you can find of specifically this size? Maybe that will give us a clue.
Can I see if I can trace any other ones? Like if it's not just those ones, or do they just disappear off?
You can try, but it will be with disadvantage.
Can I ask for that continue to help to to not have disadvantage?
Sure, so then you will be rolling straight. And now
So-
now it's more cunning. Now
Ah.
survival cunning.
Still +5.
Reflex.
Don't have guidance anymore, do I? Or do I still have that?
You used it once, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know how guidance works, I'm sorry.
I mean,
This one
you can come
is-
and you can use it.
Okay.
I'm trying not to like spam it. So
You know, I don't know what
If
it
you-
is. Sorry, like.
If you
It adds-
specifically ask for it, yeah. Wow. Still 21.
All
You
right.
know, we're
Reading
good.
guidance.
We are good.
You search the area. You can't really see that many more on the beach because of the open area and the rain. You go into the forest, like close to the last footprint that is like closest to the tree line. You look around there, but it's like foliage, and with the rain, you start to feel like no, there's no way that there would be any footprints left, and you raise your gaze to look at your party when you've gone into the woods a few meters, and when you do, your eyes go past a handprint burned into a tree.
Ooh.
I think they missed something.
Rush over. Great job, Kelvin. What did you find?
Fucking that.
Fu-
And he's gonna point to the handprint.
Yeah, Nick,
Fucking that!
Fucking that is what I'm talking about.
nice, really nice. Yeah, Nix, you're looking at like a handprint that is, like a larger specimen, wide, powerful, and the bark is just singed, burnt.
So they would like trying to like their hand was already so hot that it would singe it? Or is it like a sort of them having fire on it? Or is it just the surface of it?
I mean, Illyria,
Like is it just in the size of a handprint, or is it like smudged and everything else?
I mean, the edges aren't perfect, but it doesn't look like a flame has like licked like huge parts of it. It does still seem pretty accurate. And I mean, with firebolts and other kind of fire spells, you can ready them and like hold them in your hand, and it's not like they're hurting you. So maybe you're not entirely sure.
Illyria, does this look familiar to you? Can you do this?
I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably try. So Illyria will go to somewhere else where she doesn't like disturb the evidence and try to leave the mark like that, just using like her fire, like.
You get kind of similar effects if you just hold the fire in your hand and not like firing away. It's hard to concentrate on it though, because the spell is specifically made to be like thrown. It's not really meant to be kept for that long, so you're not able to thoroughly etch into the tree. And even though you do get kind of like a handprint, it's mostly like your palm, your palm, and maybe like just the base of your fingers, because it's like concentrated in the middle of your hand.
Unless they wanted to do that like real bad, I highly doubt that it's that.
But something similar, perhaps.
To be honest, they probably did it not on purpose. Like,
Yeah, like.
I don't
if
think they'd
it
want to
were a
leave something like this,
spell,
because
they
this is
would
not like a
have
fucking footprint.
They would have to focus on it. So it would have to be something that they did subconsciously. I highly doubt that they would want to leave a handprint behind.
True,
Maybe,
but
what
maybe
if
they
it's
were
a-
lighting their way.
or maybe some kind of fuck you, I did this, right? A taunt.
Do you guys recognize this at all? Like, have you seen this before? Somebody like fucking burning their hand into a wood?
I have no idea.
Not that I've ever known.
No. Is this something gnome related? Perhaps sounds really crazy.
So that's why I actually do see what you mean, but no, I'm pretty sure it's not.
Well, maybe there
Plus,
are
I
more.
don't think a gnome had that big of a hand. Just saying.
Well, I know, but maybe you just really like burning stuff. I don't know.
You think I made this?
No, I just think maybe you might have some sort of experience with burning things. I don't know.
That I do, but not with burning hands into woods.
Would Nyx know of any spell that could potentially be like this?
I mean, there might be larger spells, fire spells that might work better, like more have like a fast burn kind of thing, like stronger than just a firebolt. There might also be spells that are meant to be more close quarters, that might be able to burn things a little bit easier, like this. But it's not like you have like a great repertoire of fire spells.
No. Well, maybe there are others. Now that we know what we're looking for,
Yeah. I was gonna
let's
ask if I
spread
could-
out.
Yeah.
And since you're doing such a great job, Kelvin, you do it better. And you'll
Do better.
do even better. Do even better. Cast guidance on
He's gonna do
Kelvin.
a thumbs up. Of course, it's a small thumbs up because he's a gnome, but it's still a thumbs up.
Alright.
We're all looking for a handprint
Yeah, more like this.
or footprint. In the direction that the footprint started from to where the handprint is, like maybe it's like a path or like a direction or something like that.
Yeah, like this is in the woods, like maybe 10 meters in, directly east.
All right.
Yeah, let's make a roll.
More.
Yeah, more cunning survival at disadvantage. But Asvada helps you, so it would be a straight roll, and then you add a
And-
1d4.
God, that's a lot of pluses. And God, that's high.
Nice.
We're doing
Fucking
it.
A.
We're doing it.
Doing the
We're
thing.
doing it. We're gonna solve the murder. If it's been, let's hope it's not a murder. Actually, fuck.
I mean, roll one
Yeah.
more time because you might get higher. How do you know?
Oh, I
No,
thought it
right,
was
no,
straight
it's
then,
a
because
straight
it
roll.
was a
Fuck,
disadvantage.
it's just, sorry, I had a brain fart. You look around. You don't find any burning handprints. But you like continue just eastwards, and you do find a branch that is broken. By somebody. Like in chest height for like a humanoid, right? It's not like on the ground. It's like chest height for a humanoid. So that's usually like
So I'm
higher
guessing
up
I could like.
than
I'm
an
guessing I
animal.
could like easily tell if it's not an animal's, because yeah.
Yeah, it's too high to be an animal, basically. And you continue forward, like looking around, but there's no more footprints and no more signs.
Does anyone know what's actually like roughly this direction, or like?
Vallaki. More or less. But we can certainly keep our eyes out. If we keep heading this direction, it seems to be at least a trail.
I mean, it's better than nothing. This is probably further than the others got.
I think so too. I mean, I don't think they never mentioned anything about the burning hand.
Never seen anything like it, to be honest.
Alright, gang.
Let's keep going.
Split up and search for clues.
Good morning, Shaggy.
Yeah, sounds like a great idea.
Alright.
Oh my god.
Do you wanna? So,
Too
in which direction do you go now from this branch?
Is it still like in the same direction that it was the beach to hand, like the beach to there? Like, is it still the same direction? Ish, or
Yeah, considering you have wild memory, It's slightly northeast, but only slightly.
Well, I'll head like roughly in the same direction as those are.
Alright, then let's roll again.
Yay.
Good. Yeah, we're on the trail here.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
And try as you might, you're unable to find any more clues, and you lose trail.
Fuck.
Bugger.
Maybe, I don't know. Clearly, there was a direction that this person was following, who we don't know. Yeah, were we following like a path, like a road, or like a footpath, or anything like that, or is it just like all forest?
All forests.
I'm wondering if we could see better at a higher vantage point. Maybe there is a building somewhere nearby, or in the distance. I don't know if. Personally, I'm not a great tree climber, but looks to the rest of the party. Maybe.
I can climb trees. I don't think Asphageddar can without breaking them.
Maybe she can toss you up a little bit.
Yes, I was just about to suggest that.
I can climb on my own, thank you.
Well, you'll certainly conserve energy on the way up if I just tossed you up.
I'm not tired.
No,
And at that, he's gonna start climbing so he doesn't get chucked.
he was about to grab you.
Alright, you guys help. You know, I won't ask for an athletics roll here because you take your time. Eventually, you get up. You know, try to search for like a taller tree. It's a little bit hard. Like even if you're like in the crown of it, this area seems somewhat flat since you're in the bowl of the Vallaki Valley. And you can basically just see trees all around and just maybe the hints of buildings and the wooden palisades saw directly to the east.
He's gonna call down. Well, it seems there's something that way. I don't know if you can see which way I'm pointing, but it's one of those ways.
We can't see anything.
It's east. I don't know if you know which way that is.
I know.
Good, because now I'm gonna get down because I don't want to go up here anymore.
Do a flip.
He's gonna do a backflip. No.
No? Okay, I'm going to
Fine.
do athletics dexterity here and see like how fancy you are.
Sure. All right.
Rolls now.
Okay, I've got a +4 in it at least. I can
Okay.
do that. Ooh, fancy.
Oh, very nice.
Mm.
19. Yeah. You know, you do a little black flip. It's pretty nice. You look dexterous.
That was a hell of a lot better than getting chucked up there. And he's gonna death further.
Okay. Point away.
Adam's gonna point the way.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing around here, as he's saying, I mean, the only thing that is around here, it's Vallaki in that direction. I mean, there's not that many houses outside of the walls. The Valakians are usually quite like to hide behind the safety. They have
They're scared.
they field inside of the gates.
True, but we can at least see if maybe there's another footprint along that way. If it means that it goes into Vallaki, then we at least know that someone in Vallaki did it.
That is a fair point.
Hmm.
I mean, it certainly can't hurt to try.
All right. It's probably gonna take. So as he says, since she knows this area well, there are 3 gates of Vallaki. One pointing towards the lake in the north. Then there's one in the east. No, in the west. I mean, that goes towards Kresk. Then there's one further away to the west that goes towards Castle Ravenloft and Barovia. Let's use the map again to not confuse. It's just easier this way.
Maps are maps.
Yeah. So you got the gate on this side, got a gate on that side, and then you got a gate on this side. So the road kind of goes through, right, Vallaki, and then there, but there's also a road that goes around, and then there's a road that goes to the lake.
Okay, so there's basically gates on all sides.
Yeah, except
Yeah.
here actually. It's actually a gate, but it's
Except the
Where
southern
there's
side.
actually a gate on the map.
There's
Yeah.
a gate.
The only place where there is a gate, there isn't one.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is not a gate.
Exactly.
Please.
Exactly.
Gotta get it straight.
It's an old map.
Yeah.
Really, truly.
His
You want me
Nix
to
is
look-
drawing
Vallaki was a
now.
lot smaller.
yeah. And you got
It's just a doodle.
yeah, and you got like where you are right now. It's like up here, right?
So if we do approach, it'll be like either the north or the west.
We don't know if this person is going into Vallaki yet, but we can at least continue looking.
True. And before we say that we are out of the woodsy clearing, I think it would be best for Illyria to approach closer in case there are any guards guarding the walls and overlooking. I wouldn't want you
Are we that
or
close? I
I
don't
mean,
think
like-
we're that close.
I mean, like when they approach the walls.
Oh, if they approach the wall.
Yeah, if they approach that and they have like a clearing where you know guards can see you there. She's saying
Uh-huh.
that it's best that Illyria get closer
Oh,
because
yeah.
it'll also be very like sus if Nyx or Esmeralda be around there.
Okay.
They don't like you
Racist.
guys, I'm sorry.
Yep. It's hard to be discriminated against.
Not your fault. So if anything, it's a safety for the rest of your group up in that hill. You wouldn't want any of them to march up, causing any trouble for you guys.
True. True. What are we saying here? That this person kidnapped Arabella?
It's a
And-
possibility.
Dragged her or carried her away this far? Maybe they're a big person, but a 15-year-old isn't exactly small either. And to sneak a 15-year-old over your shoulder into the gates of Vallaki seems a little bit suspect.
Who knows?
That's why
Yeah.
we're researching towards there.
There are
That's it.
many possibilities. I can only imagine why. I don't think you don't care to hear any of them.
Okay, well, we're just postulating. Let's see if we can find anything further.
All right. So in which direction are you going?
Towards the wall?
East.
Okay,
Yeah.
so straight east.
Yes.
Let's do another check. Because from here is probably maybe an hour of travel because you already made your way a little bit like inwards. So yeah, you're probably looking at an hour of like walking through the forest to get to the gates. So let's say after 20 minutes, let's see if you find anything.
Alright. Oh yeah. Also, how late is it? Like, because we gotta have time to like get back to the place before it gets fully dark.
You were around lunchtime when you arrived, and you ate lunch, and you spent some time in the camp. So it's probably just after lunch right now, like early afternoon.
But yeah, I got 11.
You search for footprints. You search for more branches, and anything that could otherwise give you a clue, but besides a number of wolf footprints, birds, and other forest critters, you don't find
Birds.
you don't find anything special.
Well, I think our next option would be to talk to the boy.
It is like 40 minutes now to the gates. And you're getting closer also to that road that leads to the gate. Alright,
Okay.
what do you want to do?
Well,
Press on?
I mean,
Come
I'm
closer?
just like talking with Wee Wee here because like he's new to his character sheet, and
Yeah,
I know
I've
that
forgotten what half my shit is. I don't think I can do that. No,
to speak to small animals.
I don't think I can do that. No, I'm pretty sure I didn't end up doing that. Actually, yeah, I can. Animal connection. Yeah, I can cast that. I know that.
Right. And Bexxy just said that there were birds and small forest animals around here.
That I did.
Look, I'm the bird whisperer.
Been replaced.
Yeah, but can you actually speak
You're
to
the
them?
raven whisperer.
Yeah. Connections with the Raven Queen, huh?
Bitch, I am the Raven Queen.
Huh?
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Get it?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I might fucking. I forgot that I have that, so I might actually use it.
Yeah, you're not.
What
that's not a
is
soul
like?
mastery.
What is my choice?
You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts and animals for the duration. Let's make a quick perception intelligence to see what options you have.
Perception intelligence. I'm pretty sure I'm good at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't it like +8 or something like that?
Yeah. Eyes. Yes. 17.
As the sound conveys, there's a flock of ravens close by. There's also the signs of forest mice that you can try to find.
I think the ravens would be more useful.
Alright.
Ooh.
Oh no.
But
Challenger appeared.
ravens are a bit weird. I think that it's
Do you
Okay.
mean ravens are weird? Explain
You're
yourself
weird.
right now. I'm not weird, says the little mushroom obsessed gnome.
It's not just mushrooms. It's plants.
Thought they were different.
Bickering between the party as always.
I mean, there's always bickering in a party.
Yeah. But I think I'll try and speak to the ravens. I don't know. Hopefully this time I'll be able to actually fucking speak to them.
You approach like a tree where there's like sitting like 3 ravens. And let me double check the intelligence of ravens. Okay, it's 3. Gain ability
It's
to
like a-
comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts and animals for duration. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts and animals are limited by their intelligence, but at the minimum, beasts and animals can give you information about the nearby locations, creatures, including whatever they can perceive or have perceived within the past day.
Ah.
Additionally, you may attempt to charm the animal or beast you are communicating with. Choose a beast or animal. Alright. You approach it, you cast it, and you're verbally communicating with one of the ravens. It looks its eye towards you quizzically and says, I haven't seen anything like the past day.
What about before then?
Should probably talk to my blue sisters.
Who are your blue sisters? Who the fuck are they?
They're strange. They're one of us, but not one of us.
Illyria, it's your
So they're
raven.
birds.
I would assume that my raven. Not
How
that
do
it
you-
belongs to me, but
How do you call your raven, Illyria?
I don't
Yeah.
call it. Usually just, keeps an eye out for.
It's kind of creepy, not gonna lie.
He blinks at you.
Not talking to you, don't worry. Let's talk about another raven.
Maybe can you ask where the blue sister is, blue raven is? Where Illyria's raven?
I think you're talking to the wrong one.
Only you can ask it, right? He
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
understand
yeah, true
anything what
shit.
Nick says. That's why he went, ah!
That's why I'm asking. I'm asking, Calvin to ask.
Yeah, and I will pass it on. I am the brains, but also not. I'm but a messenger.
They won't. Sometimes they nest in the blue house.
The blue house.
The blue house.
Where's the blue house?
Where's the blue house?
In the nests. By the nest of the humans. All of those nests. Busy nests. The blue nest.
Could you kind of show me that direction? Because I have no fucking idea.
Points his wing east. Humanoid nests. So many.
Like, inside of that thing they are all there, or just outside, or what?
Inside. Inside the tight trees.
It's saying that the blue ones are inside the, city.
A blue house inside Vallaki?
Yeah. But blue house might be a thing for just I don't know, their nests. I don't fucking know.
Still, it's something,
It's better than what we've got.
I suppose. Well, I don't know. I'm not trained in survival or tracking or anything like that. So, I mean, I'll leave it up to you and Asphodel what to do.
What do you think, Asphodel?
Well, we've certainly hit a rough spot. Perhaps finding other witnesses of the event could lead us towards a good direction, given what we have now.
By that, do you mean a person or another fucking animal? Because these things are annoying to talk to.
Yes,
Yeah, I know you did.
yeah, animals, I don't believe they have the greatest memory. Except that weird one that Illyria keeps talking about. But,
The stalker crow.
yes, the stalker crow. That boy that I was trying to, communicate, in which you two, she gestures to Illyria and Nyx, or, how should I say, an attempt at comforting him. I think after he simmers down, and given what I've done to him thus far, might make him open up to speak about the events. Well, what do you all think?
Well, It's certainly a lead we haven't
I think we should
followed.
talk to him, and I would have gotten him to open up at some point. Thank you very much.
Not with that tactic. No.
Well, you wanted to talk to him, but I had other... You know what? Sure.
Alright. You walk back. It's probably being 2:30 by the time you get back to the camp. Turning the same way you came.
Are those elves still there?
Yeah, except for one. Two still there. Talking.
Is there the one that actually reacted to Illyria's greeting?
Yeah, he's there. It's the top one. It just gives you a cool glance as you walk by. Nothing more.
Oh, Asphodel kind of like gently nudges Illyria.
Oh!
Look, fellow ones.
Realize I'm a half elf, right?
Half of your fellow ones. He said you wanted to talk.
You're trying to get rid of me.
I'm not. That's entirely your own perception. I have no control over that.
Illyria just doesn't say anything and sort of like waves her hand as she just walks over and tries to greet those elves.
Asphodel is just gonna move over here and listen closely.
Alright.
Does Asphodel speak Elvish?
No. she's more like peeking the come on, like she's trying to read body language here.
Asphodel is a perv. Oh my god.
She's curious. Like, look, Illyria hasn't. She's interested in this elves. These elvish interactions. And Illyria
Watching.
interacting. This she's gotta see.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have a feeling that you don't trust in Illyria's social abilities?
I mean, I don't think she's proven it so far. Should ask for that.
I don't know. I think that might just be truly being incredibly awkward.
I think Asphodel just likes watching. So.
Illyria does have a presence, maybe not as ostentatious and large as Nyx, but Illyria definitely have a grace around her. She might not be the most experienced with words though, sometimes. But she does have an aura around her. Alright, you walk up to them. They kind of stop what they're talking about as soon as you approach, seemingly not wanting you to overhear, and they turn towards you, giving you the opportunity to speak first.
Oh, she just sort of like greets them in Elvish.
They nod.
I hope I'm not interrupting you.
Not really.
I was just curious, really.
Curious? There's nothing here to see.
Well, I think you're the first elves I've seen around here. And the fact how people interact with you do strike me as quite odd. You have to forgive me, I'm not from this place.
That is quite obvious. leave this place if you can. Otherwise, give up.
I think it's too late for us to leave, but I do refuse to give up.
Gives you a sympathetic look.
So, what do you know about this place? If you can talk about it anyway.
There's really not much to talk about. It's not really my place to do so. Maybe Casimir would say other advice. He sees your quizzical look and he says, our leader. And he points his finger to the house that is symmetrically on the other side of the entrance of the camp. The house that would be over there, in comparison to the road, right?
Say otherwise.
On the other side of the hill.
And I think if anybody could tell us about this place.
Seligal is also quite friendly. One of our, our youngest. He sells bows and arrows, if you're interested.
Well, a while since I used a bow, but lately that not everything burns.
Give you like a blank look.
So, do you think it would be alright for me to talk to your leader then?
If you don't make a show of it, and he wants to, I see no harm in it. You're not not a Vistani after all.
Well, yeah.
But I don't see what good will come of it. There's really nothing to say.
Well, I do think that you're probably more familiar with this place than...
From the start, young sister, from the start.
So you should have plenty to tell. Maybe you don't want to. If you have been here for the start,
I'm sorry. This is good. Talk to Casimir if you want to. But we have nothing more to say about this. We do not want to relive.
I understand, and I'm really sorry to bother you about this.
Apology accepted, young sister. But friendly advice from one elven kind to the other. The sooner you give up, give in to the fate of the curse, the less you will hurt.
I think I decide my own fate, but thanks for the warning. And she sort of like leaves.
They also like take a step back. They like go back to their housing. They're not like really enjoying the attention.
You okay there?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, you.
No, it's not me. That was you.
Okay.
Oh,
Is
okay.
Yoi
Like,
okay though?
I thought, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. All of a
Yoi
sudden I
good?
was
Is he
like,
dying?
I can hear it's not you, but is he okay?
yeah, I thought he was dying. Like he cut himself. A missing finger? I don't know.
Or he's like running for his life from someone.
This entire time, Bexxy was having a duel with Yuri.
They're just having a duel while she DM'd.
Like so powerful, you can't even hear her panting breath. Just sounds
Yeah.
normal.
Her panting breath is just her DMing.
Why is there so many teasing statements in chat about my French, but not my bad Slavic accent? Huh?
I don't
Oui,
know.
oui, madame.
I was
Hon,
so like I was about to say something about like the elves being French, but I didn't.
Ron, l'état marque ratou, oui.
I just wanted to sound differently from everybody else, okay? Ah!
Fine. But I think
You should change
that
one of the
was
tags from
quite
English
the
to
important
French.
conversation, huh?
Okay.
Illyria for now walks back to the others.
Did you learn anything?
Well, I did. They don't like to talk about it, but you know, elves live for quite a while.
So I've heard. I wonder how many stories they have to tell.
None that they wish to tell, but I was told to go talk to their leader. Also, apparently one of them sells bows. Which, I tried to make a joke, but it didn't really land.
What was the joke?
Recently learned that not everything burns, so that's why I need a bow.
I don't follow it. Can you
Like-
explain your joke?
Oh, okay. Like you remember some things where my magic just doesn't work as well.
I guess you had to be there.
Yeah. Look,
But the leader, they have a leader.
they do, and I know where to find him.
Oh, that's great.
And she just sort of like points to the house, like
Yeah.
just over there.
Yeah, it's just the house over there, yeah.
Like it
so-
sounds like, oh yeah, no, he's somewhere completely different. It's just like, oh no, he's over there.
Yeah.
So you're going to
I-
talk to the elves some more?
I think I should have a chat with him. The elves sounded like maybe he would be willing to tell me more about this land.
Solid lead. I'm impressed. And Aswada, you have the young teenage angsty boy to talk to. I think I'm going to, I don't know.
Watch.
No, I don't need to watch. I will
We've
sit.
got a raven that watches, we've got a tiefling that watches, we've got a dragonborn that watches, it's, yeah.
I'm going to sketch a little in my book. Just to, I haven't kept up with my noveling for a while, so I thought if there is a moment free, I'll have a seat.
Very
Can
well
we tell
then.
you the back?
What was that? Sorry. We-
Can we tell you the map?
well, sure, of course. I mean, if you wish. What did you see up on the tree, for example? And we'll take a seat next to I don't know, some other Vistani.
Alright, you sit down, have a friendly combo. SC says, I think this is a little bit over my head, so I will go with this. Alright, so who are we doing first?
I don't know, but Illyria, before she walks off, goes to Asphodel, looks up at her and says, "See, I can't talk to people," and then just walks off.
Yes, a trait of the human side. She's those elves are so stiff. Oh,
Alright, let's do Aspida first.
okay.
Pity is still lying, still where you left him, but the bag of food is all gone. And he kinda lies on his back, like almost like stroking his stomach. Like looking very
shit.
satisfied. Yeah, but a little bit like he's G-sting right now, if you know what I mean.
He's cruising. What was his name again? Like Petey?
Pity.
Oh, Pity.
Mhm.
PT. Okay.
But with an I instead of a Y, but yeah, and two T's.
Gotcha. I was like, PB? PD? PT? Okay. Okay. She sees him having his food coma. And she will just at the at the edge of this hill before it makes its decline. Kind of says right here, I see that you hadn't wasted it for the ravens.
He leans back his head to see you from like upside down, you know, not wanting to move. Gives you like an look you can't really immediately place, and he says, it would be a shame.
And you somehow managed to shove all of it in your stomach. I'm quite impressed.
Well, I guess it requires a certain skill.
That is indeed. There's actually a competition for that from where I've come from. Have you ever heard of eating competitions?
Where do you come from?
From outside the mists, as they call it.
He sits up at that point and looks a little bit interested. Is it any better than here?
My personal opinion, why, yes. Outside, there's no mist until the season for it comes. There's sunshine instead of these dreary gray clouds. It's bright. You meet a lot of people. And just to make sure that my memory serves right, there tieflings do exist outside of this mist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I was like, just gotta make sure.
They're quite concentrated here, like they're, less common in other places.
Are they still like also discriminated against for the most part? Or is it less severe than here?
I would definitely say it's like less severe. I mean there's like centuries of like having to live with each other, these two kind of groups, that created a lot of racism. Things are a little bit more chaotic outside of
Got.
this.
Okay, gotcha. She'll follow up with, and though your kind isn't very, bountiful as it is here, at least the discrimination is, less. You're a lot. Oh,
Sorry,
go on.
continue.
You're a lot freer out there than here.
He gives he gets a determined look in his eyes and nods to you. Alright. One day I will leave this place. I will never come back.
Then you must follow through with it. And then, in that case, how do you suggest I'm leaving? Are you able to wield a sword, defend yourself against all that would oppose you?
Not really a sword, but I'm quick. I'm quiet. I'm sure I can make my way. And I do believe in a few years that Luvash will sure lift my punishment and I might be able to join a caravan and just slip away. But don't tell anybody, okay?
I have no reason to. Not at all.
Good. Because I'm getting out of here one way or the other.
In fact, if you're willing, I can teach you some basic offensive skills. A little base, so that you may practice when the day comes you wish to leave.
Really? Are you some great warrior?
I am, yes.
At this point, there's a tiny amount of admiration. Well, it might be too rudimentary for me, but show me what you got.
Very well then. And she just takes out her halberd and just slams this thing down on the ground.
Alright, so Asphodite is showing some moves, Pity. Showing off, teaching. Pity is like trying. He's also, you know, he's been eating a lot, so he's not that dexterous
Gotta
right now.
work off
Yeah.
the big stomach.
And there's also a lot of pride, so he lets you do most of the work, right? And just mostly watches, but he keeps close attention even though he's trying to play it off that he does not. Which is kind of cute. Very teenagey. Illyria, what are you doing in the meantime?
Lyria goes over to the leader's house that was mentioned.
Wait. Okie dokie. Let's go back to this visual. So you see the houses on the sides.
So she's sort of like going to like knock, I guess, and like read them in Elvish.
Oh god, that's a little bit too much here. Whew. Let's actually go back to them. It's very nice. Yeah. You walk down the hills to the houses. You do see some more elves in the mist standing around them or walking in and out of them. Beside the what seems to be the leader's little house, you do see in the distance beside it there's another house who actually have a sign hanging in front of it. It's a little bit too far away to read it, but it does look like some kind of store sign. There's somebody outside of the house, a wood elf leaning against the wall beside the door, and he gives you it wouldn't say like immediately an hostile look, but certainly wary.
Fair.
And as you like seemingly like approaching the house itself, he asks, what business do you have right here?
Think to talk to what's his name again?
Hey, what is his name again? No, it's Casimir.
I was hoping to talk to Casimir.
He gives you like a look up and down. Then shrugs his shoulders and knocks gently on the door when there's like a sound coming from inside of like a yes in Elvish. He peeks in his head, and since you understand Elvish anyway, he's basically saying there's a half-elven outsider here who wants to talk to you. And the voice inside says basically what you want. And the guard just simply says to talk to you. There's a silence for several moments, and then show her in.
Illyria, like during that silence, and as he then says like sure, and just like lets out like the breath that she held during that.
Yeah. Exactly. You enter into a small wooden house, but is very finely crafted. Like even like on the outside, there's every inch of the wood is covered in some kind of detail, carving or extension of some sort. And it's the same thing on the inside. Like either these elves are incredibly artistic, or they just have a lot of time on their hands. Maybe both.
Probably the latter, or maybe both.
The inside are very, very Spartan. There's a simple bed. There's a study area with some books. There's a very simple kitchen, which is some herbs, vegetables. You can see in labeled urns. A fireplace in the back of the house with one chair, and turning around, looking at you incredulously, is a little bit more. All of these elves were pretty martial in nature. Like they seem some kind of be some like woodlands scouts. This one looks a little bit more well-read and a little bit more scholarly, I would say. He's not wearing armor. It's more like a fine elven robe. And he's currently holding a small carving knife and a log of wood. And there's some wooden chips on the floor. And he stands up as you approach. It's kind of creepy, but also good.
It says in Elvish.
There's a nod that comes back, and as is in in Elvish as well. What is your purpose here?
Well, I curious seeing you met the forest and tried to talk to them. So they referred me to, not necessarily, but alluded to you maybe being more willing to.
A microphone closer to face.
Oh, they alluded to you maybe being more willing to talk to me.
What for? What are you seeking?
Well, from what they told me, you have been around for time. That's probably very painful to talk about. At least that's what I gathered. I asked if they knew anything about this land and was told to give up.
Yes.
Also, I thought maybe since I think nobody is close to you, could maybe some company.
Say the last thing again. You were breaking up a bit.
I was like, maybe since nobody really is supposed to talk to you, cider, maybe some company while I'm here.
We technically there is a loophole here. We are not been ordered to specifically to talk to outsiders, so there won't be any punishment. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we have anything to say to one another. Who are you?
Well, my name is Lady Illyria Feathermore. Was sent here on what was supposed to be a diplomatic mission. And it seems like now I'm stuck. In fact, I am probably a glorified hostage.
For me, that is not an uncommon fate.
And I don't plan on simply resigning to my fate here. I was hoping that you might be able to give us some more information about this land.
If you're not planning to give up, then what are you hoping to do?
I don't know, but I don't plan on being able to go home. Whatever it takes.
There's a glint in his eyes as you say that, and he only takes a second for him to like stand up and drop the carving knife and the log back down. He goes to the kitchen, carries the chair and puts it in front of the fire with him, and then sits down, turns to you, gestures towards the chair and says, I think you better sit down for this. This might take some time.
She just sort of nods and says thank you and sits down.
Alright, and with that, we're going to end tonight's episode of Curse of Mother Mystery.
Dun dun dun.